Hello, this is Leviticus, aka World's Most Famous Artist. Don't worry, it's just conceptual. I know all about the world's famous artist thing. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to knock this out. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to hustle. I got stuff going on. So, number one, have you guys heard of Carl Sagan's pale blue dot? I believe it was taken by the Voyager from the Earth was photographed by the Voyager from 1 billion miles away, and the photo taken was called Pale Blue Dot. So I've been doing this conceptual art piece for about 2 years, and it basically is different versions of the pale blue dot, and I'm going to knock out a few today. And first is what I do is I mix up some pale blue, okay? And that takes not that much time. I'm going to knock it out. And we're just going to do different versions of pale blue dot, and I will figure out how to present these. But let's say, for example, I got this old black piece of wood. And I'm going to put the pale blue dot here. You see that? Okay, so that's one pale blue dot knocked out. Now, I also have this magic 8-ball, okay? I either found this or my kids gave it to me, but to me it looks like the universe. This could be the universe. Let's see. Pale blue dot. Pale blue dot number 2. I don't know how to present this, but it would be presented somehow like this, like a sculpture. So this is my new sculpture. When I was a younger artist in New York, I had some mentors, and one of my mentors was Joe Zibnowski, and he was a genius. The reason he was a genius is because he would make art, but nobody knew it was art. He didn't use a canvas, and he didn't make traditional sculptures, so people didn't know what it was. Some people knew what he was doing was art. He would just collect objects and essentially organize the objects in different ways so it made some sort of poetic sense. You couldn't sell the stuff. He was anonymous. He never showed. He just made things constantly until he died. He died 2 years ago at about, I think he was 72. He just died one day. He was doing very well, healthy. I saw him maybe a week before, but made art until he died. Nobody knew what he was doing. So this is also a piece that I have. It's probably one of my kids, and they threw it out because they're getting older. It looks like, I'm not sure. I don't know what this is, but now I'm going to put this on there. A little bit bigger. You see that? This is pale blue dot. So to me, once you put the pale blue dot on here, this can represent the universe in which the world exists. We don't know what the universe actually is. This could be infinity. This bubble here can represent anything. So once you put the pale blue dot here, it becomes conceptual art. And that's what I'm into. So now I got this pale blue dot, and I got this pale blue dot, and if I were to present this in a gallery or something, I would present it like this as sculptures. So these would be sculptures, and I would make sure people knew that it was a sculpture. I wouldn't make it so ambiguous. I would probably write, "This is a conceptual sculpture." Duh. Okay. Sip of coffee. Next. So I found this old fishing line. and I've been thinking about what to do with it. First thing I did was tie a string to it. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, now we're going to do a quick conceptual project. Then, the next thing I did is I found this. Okay, let me see, how am I going to do this? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my screw gun. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to move this a little bit, but not much. Maybe I won't even move it that much. But I'm going to try to do this the most efficient way possible. Let's see. I'm going to put this here. Okay. I am going to move this so you can see it. I want to present this. Okay. So we got that there. We're going to get my screw gun. And we're going to I got one there. Okay, then I'm going to put this about there. Let me move that a little bit. So then we got this. We got this fishing line here. Gonna screw that in there. Now wait a minute, we're still going. Now watch. This is gonna lead somewhere. Now check this out. I got this string, so we got this fishing pole here. I'm gonna tie this there. Check it out. Check it out. Okay. I'm gonna somehow tie this. Okay, now it's getting heavy. I'm gonna do this fast. It's gonna get heavy. This way. This way. We're gonna do some fast work. Okay, so now we got this. Watch. Okay. Kind of see that. And then, check it out. Got this. Sorry. Okay. That's screwed in. Got my scissor. Just make this nice and cut it. Then, watch guys. I'm still going with the pale blue dot concept, all right? I'm gonna cover this thing I painted, this thing I screwed in, that's a screw, covered it with a blue dot. Now that's a pale blue dot. I gotta put this back so you can see it. Okay? This is called pale blue dot. And it's a fishing line that I found. I just screwed it to the canvas. And this is the blue dot, as you can see. And this is a quick concept that I just came up with this morning when I woke up. I said, what's another concept for pale blue dot? So this could be God or infinity. I don't know what the name of it is. But he's just using us as bait in the infinite, brutal universe. And he's fishing with the with Earth. The pale blue dot is Earth. So I love it. I think this is probably my best piece yet. God, I just want to keep showing it. Oh man. All right. So that's 3 pale blue dots. These pale blue dots. This pale blue dot. Sorry, 4 pale blue dots. And of course, this pale blue dot. So just right there, we got a show. We got a pale blue dot show. Sweet, I'm super hyped. I was really worried that wasn't going to be efficient, or I wouldn't know how to hack it together so fast. But let me tell you, I've been doing this stuff a long time, and it just flows. It flows. Next. The lanternfly. Out here in New York, you got kids out here stomping on lanternflies because there's some sort of campaign that says, "See it, kill it. See it, kill the lanternfly." And they literally are. These are very, very gentle creatures. These lanternflies are very, very gentle. They're very dopey. They're like lazy. They'll fly on you. They'll kiss you. They'll just sort of they'll land right by your feet, begging you to step on them. It's the craziest. It's the craziest little bug. They're very lazy. So this campaign, the campaign is basically these things. These little flies are eating the trees. And I Googled it, and it's some sort of grant that's given to the University of Pennsylvania by the USDA to somehow get a marketing campaign against these little bugs because they're eating crops. I guess only in the Northeast. You won't find this campaign, I don't think, anywhere else. I think it's a psyop, and I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. I totally avoid conspiracies, but I see little kids maniacally stomping on these things, and their parents, usually they're like wearing masks, and they're sort of off-putting. They're like asking their kids to stomp on these, and I'm just like, hey guys, I think this is a psyop. These things aren't killing anything. You'd have to get 1 million of these bugs on one tree branch for these guys to even start eating. They're super lazy. They'll just die by themselves right in front of you. I digress. So I'm going to do a series called Lanternflies, and I'm going to call it The Hunted, because I think there's a campaign to, desensitize people to killing and seeing blood and sort of getting them used to violence and brutality, and they're starting just with, it's easy to kill these gentle bugs. These bugs are all over the sidewalks of New York because they're having kids specifically kill these bugs. I'm totally against it, and a lot of people are for killing these bugs. So if you tell a guy, "Hey man, are you stepping on lanternflies to kill them?" The guy will be like, "Yes, because I heard they're killing trees." I'm like, dude, it would take 1,000 bugs on one branch to just kill the branch. And there's not a lot of these bugs. So check yourself. But I think there's a desensitization campaign going on here. So I'm going to paint a bunch of lanternflies, and that's going to be my next concept. And I'm going to call it The Hunted. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but they're hunting people out there right now. They're making it sort of so people get used to the violent images. And once you get used to the images, the reason why people aren't that violent is because we kind of don't like to see the gore and stuff. But if you're used to it, and society is sort of lenient on violence, then you'll start to do it. Next, so a few years ago, I did this commissioned oil painting from photo. It's one of my need a gift paintings. So I do a lot of commissions. So I do the conceptual stuff and I do the commissions. Now this was bought and paid for. I don't forget how much it was. It was probably about $300. I don't remember exactly. But he gave me the balance. I remember sending him the photo. He liked it, and he sent me the balance, and it's paid for, and he never picked it up. So I'm assuming that he and the girlfriend pictured here probably broke up. It happens a lot where you get a commission, something goes wrong, and then, you don't want to give your ex-girlfriend a painting of you and her. So it remained with me. But after the fact, after it's painted, it becomes just a work of art. It could represent love. It could represent loss. It could represent, a peaceful moment. It becomes something more than the original concept, which was a guy commissioning this probably for Valentine's Day or something. I assume it was like created out of love, you know. But then years later, this just becomes a painting that's for sale. I mean, all this stuff ends up someplace, but it's not. It becomes it removes itself from the context of a commission, and it just becomes a piece of art that you can now analyze and critique and find something valuable in it. So it becomes whatever you want it to come. It could represent love, loss, life, whatever you want it to be. That's my view of these commissions over time. And then the other thing some old piece that I did, which is this, going back to I like to do like sort of whimsical concepts. This is the dancing robot, with a simple heart in the center. He's dancing. He's mechanical. He wants to. I guess it comes from the Wizard of Oz. Who was that guy who was the Tin Man? It's the Tin Man. Like he wants to have a life. He wants to have a life, but he's mechanical and he's just got to go through the motion. So this is dancing robot. I believe that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to knock it out. I think I showed some art. I made some art. I talked about lanternflies, which is super important. I'm going to do some lanternfly drawings tomorrow and probably work on a painting on camera. I don't know how Bob Ross does it, but when you film yourself painting, like from beginning to end, it's hard to capture the process because you kind of have to concentrate. So I like to film paintings when I'm finishing them up because it's already there and I know what I'm doing. In the middle of the painting, you don't know what you're doing. It's very easy to get distracted and then you mess the painting up if you're doing it on camera. So I don't do that. And I think that's going to be it, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.